Hi guys, it's your girl Rabna. Hope you guys are okay. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I tried doing something different, reading a book which is normally different from what I normally do. I normally read romantic books. I don't always read romantic books. People get me wrong, like you're always reading romantic. No, when I started this journey, I started with self-help books, and I saw a positive change in my life. I enjoyed reading it because it made me more knowledgeable, made me more positive. So I loved it. So in case you have any doubts about yourself, I think you should try reading self-help books. It will help you have a positive thinking. So I started with self-help books, then moved to Christian literature. I love Christian literature because you get to know more about God. You get to have a better understanding of the Bible. Then recently I started doing more of romantic books, like fiction. I'm not really a fan of fiction books because I want something I can relate to, something relatable. So like memoirs. I love memoirs a lot. So what I read recently is a bit different from what I normally read. So I have this book. It's an action thriller book, like a fictional character, but like a comic book. Yeah, something like that. So I have this book from Lucas Mayberry, and the title is Simon, Not Your Average Superhero. And just by looking at the cover page will tell you that actually, yeah, it's talking about a superhero, like a Superman, a Spider-Man kind of thing, And this is actually my first book I read, like a fiction book, like action thriller. I normally wouldn't go for a book like this, but I'm like, why not? Let's try something different. Let's explore. So I got this book and I read it, and I found it to be very amazing. To my surprise, I tend to love it. Yes, honestly, I didn't think I'll actually love it because I don't really fancy. I do watch movies like Spider-Man, Superman, but it's not something I would go in to watch other movies unless a friend invites me over. I'll be like, let's go and watch this. It's not something I usually do, but I tried it and I loved it. So it was about Simon and Fascia. Like I loved every bit of it. If I'm supposed to rate it, I'm going to give it a 4-star. Yes, because this is my first book and I loved it. So Simon is just an ordinary guy who is going for job interviews, and he's trying to get back into the job market, but it's so hard. So he goes for this interview, then he's on the tube and he noticed that there's this guy who dropped off from the tube, the landing tube. So the main focus of this book is in landing. So he goes on to reach out to this guy who had dropped his bag on the tube. Then he calls out the guy and the guy runs off. So he suspects that there's something wrong or there's something in the bag, not knowing there was a bomb in the bag. So Simon tries to warn people about the bomb, to tell them, but most people don't really pay attention till last minute they notice that, wow, it's actually a bomb. So Simon is able to survive this. Then after some time he notices changes in his body. This book is good. I just had some few questions about the book, like why Simon? Why not any other person? but they chose Simon to be the superhero. So Simon goes through a lot of changes. He's super strong. He goes through burns and nothing happens to his skin. Like, it's fascinating. And I love the storyline in the sense that the writer goes into details about what exactly happens from one stage to another at the tube, how the bomb explode, people's reaction, a lot. It feels like a movie, honestly, and I loved every single bit of it. It had a little bit of romance, which is my favorite part. Like, I'm a romantic person. Uh, I love romantic books. So if you are someone who likes a bit of romance, you could read this book, try this book and see how you feel about it. And my favorite character was Fascia. She was very funny. She was a funny character. Like, her comment, her behavior, although she was funny, I liked her part where she was very matured in the way she dealt with a lot of situations where a car was chasing her. Then she was able to maneuver and, avoid all these people. So I love that about her. Another part I loved was when her husband comes to her to tell her that, yeah, he's a superhero and he's having super strength. She didn't panic, but she was very matured about it and didn't overreact when the news came in. So I loved that about her. And the funny part I loved was when everyone was singing praises of the husband trying to save people on the tube, and she's like, "You fool, why are you trying to save people? You need to save yourself first. What's wrong with you?" Yeah, that part was very funny to me, but in her head she was very proud of the husband. Yes. So that's a little bit of the book. There's more to it than this. I just don't want to talk too much. I definitely loved it. There's a part 2 to this, because at the end of the book, Simon is captured again. So the book doesn't end there. There's more to it than just that. So like me, I need to feed my mind. I need to be curious. I need to know what happened at the end of the day. Why did they choose Simon? Why does he have super strength? Is he actually the hero? Would he be able to capture all these bad people? Like, so many questions. Yeah, so let me know what you think about the book. I loved it. This is my first action thriller and I don't regret reading. I actually want to read a part 2 of this and see what happens to Simon and Fascia. Are they going to still be together? Is Simon going to save the day? Is he going to die? Like, so many questions. All right, so guys, let me know what you think about this. Comment if you've read a book and you have any comment. Let me know, because I've watched other reviews and people didn't really like the book, and people say it was kind of intense for the man to be narrating Simon's story, and the erotic scene was just too much for a third person to be narrating it as if he was there. But you can't blame that person, because the man narrating it was a superhuman. He's not just an average or ordinary person. So he could have been there when everything happened. All right, so let me know what you think about the book. Subscribe, tell your friends about me, and like. Bye.